Welcome to Behind the Curtain. I share tips to facilitate all-round intimacy in marriage. So, I've given you some tips. Welcome once again to today's edition on Behind the Curtain. I am your host, Pisakan Sebastian. Behind the curtains of home is where the society is actually shaped. On today's edition, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things you should avoid to have a great marriage. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Do you know that there are some things you should avoid so that you could have a great marriage? And those are the things I want to share with you. When I newly married, I had a lot of challenges because there were things I didn't know. And those are the things I want to share with you. The first thing I'm going to share with you is mind how you talk. When I got married, I was talking, I answered everything. I did not mind the way I talk. And the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 2 says, the word of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool shall swallow him up. Proverbs 18 verse 7 says, fools are undone by their own big mouths. Their soul are crushed by their own words. That's the Message Bible. The way you talk could be the problem why you're having the challenges that you're having. It might be the reason why your spouse is avoiding you. For you to be able to have a great marriage, you need to mind the things you say. No matter how angry you are, you need to mind the things that come out of your mouth. You know why? Because when they come out, you can't take them back. And the memories of those things stays in your spouse's head. And they'll now begin to define their lives by those things that you have said. If maybe a little thing happened and you say, I beg, I don't love you again, your spouse goes around thinking, this person that I'm married to does not love me again. Mind the way you speak. Don't just talk. Number 2, don't vent all your feelings. There are times in marriage that things just happen and you feel terrible, you feel frustrated, you feel upset, but you don't have to vent all your feelings. You need to hold back. You need to learn to have self-control. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 11 says, a fool vents all his feelings, but a wise man hold them back. Learn how to hold back your feelings. When you feel things, it's not everything that you feel that you should just express. No, me I dey talk my own like that. Oh no, you shouldn't. You should learn how to control your feelings. You should learn how to control yourself. In public places with your spouse, you need to control your feelings. You don't just need to react and act anyhow. Number 3, don't quarrel easily. For you to have a great marriage, you need to avoid quarrels. There are things that always make you want to quarrel, but you need to stay away from quarreling. Don't let little things piss you off. Don't let little things set you off for quarrel. Proverbs chapter 20 verse 3 says, it is honorable for a man to stop striving, since any fool can start a quarrel. You don't have to quarrel about everything. There are things that you just need to look at and let go. Most times, holding on, fighting is actually not the solution. Quarreling is not the solution. It's actually letting go. You need to learn how not to quarrel if you want to have a great marriage. Number 4, don't care about only yourself. For you to have a great relationship, for you to have a great marriage, you need to avoid thinking of you always. You need to live sacrificially. You need to make sacrifices. You need to die to self. There are things that normally if you do it, you'll be so pleased. But because of your spouse, you need to learn how to make sacrifices. If you don't avoid self in marriage, you might not be able to get anywhere. You might just be having a marriage that is not intimate because all you're concerned about is yourself. You're not concerned about your spouse. You need to show concern about your spouse always. You need to die to self, and you need to always make sacrifices to have a great and a thriving relationship. You have to be intentional about caring for your spouse, being concerned about your spouse, verse 26 says, a foolish person trusts himself completely. He who trusts in his own heart is a fool. You don't need to trust in yourself. You're the one that is always right. Your spouse is never right. You treat your spouse like your spouse does not know anything. No, if you do that, you're not doing good. Final point is, don't ignore good counsel and don't think you're always right. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 15 says, the way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heard counsel is wise. For you to have a thriving marriage, you need to listen to counsel. When your husband talks about something or your wife counsels you on a particular matter, you need to listen to your spouse. You don't need to always be right in your own eyes. And the truth is, you need to learn how to let go of your rights. You can't always be right. Most times, give the other person, your spouse, the benefit of the doubt that they could also be right. And most times, just let things be. Listen to wise counsel. Don't just say, no, that's how I am. I will not. This is how I want to do it. This is how I've always done it. And this is how I'm going to do it. If you do like that, you're not going to have a great marriage. So you need to avoid all of these things. The first thing I said is mind the way you talk. Talk to your spouse with a lot of respect. The spouse that you treat like a rag will not treat you like a king, will not treat you like a queen. So you need to mind how to talk to your spouse, especially when you're outside. Even if it's wrong, you can be quiet, and when you come back, you could talk it over with him. You don't need to vent all your feelings in front of the children, making your spouse look before people like he's a fool. No, you don't have to do that. Not everything you quarrel about. There are things you just see and you look away. You have become a team. You can't be doing things all by yourself. Again, for you to have a great marriage, you need godly counsel. You need counsel from people that have been there before. You don't need to take this advice and they tell you, no, don't tell anybody about your marriage, so they will mock you. You need godly counsel. You need people who have been through the same routes that you are going through to counsel you. You can't always be right in your own eyes because there might be something you're thinking you're right. By the time you talk it over with maybe a counselor, the counselor will give you a different perspective and it will help you to clear the doubts that you have, or maybe the strong points you were holding on to that is causing the strife in your marriage. So good counsel is very, very important. You don't need to neglect good counsel. If you're having any challenge in your marriage and you need somebody to talk to, please send me an email. The email will be showing on the screen. Call my number anytime. I'll be there to talk to you. And please, if you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with family and friends. If you have not yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button so that the next time the next video is going to come, you'll be the first to be notified about it. God bless you so much. The Lord will keep your marriage. The Lord will give you the needed wisdom to sustain your marriage. Whatever thing God has not planted in your marriage, it shall be uprooted in the mighty name of Jesus. God will give you the necessary wisdom to know how to talk to your spouse part time. He will give you the wisdom, the understanding, the knowledge that you need to build that home into a glorious home that will glorify God in the mighty name of Jesus. The Lord bless you richly. God bless you. See you next time.